Any idea what are the points we discussed in yesterday's class?
We discussed about various sections in Tosca Commander.
Tosca Commander sections.
And then you just let us like, so we're making a small test case to test about Jira.
We just tested the Jira application and the home tabs are visible or not. Somewhat of development. Correct. So mostly we done this example, Jira homepage validation example, correct? Verification of projects, filters,
Yes.
dashboards, themes, and apps. Okay. So what I'll show you today, how to create a project in Tosca. So I'm just doing a check-in all here, team. So team, once we open a Tosca Commander, we are able to see the number of projects. So out of all these projects, how to create a project? I'll show you that first. Okay, now. So in yesterday's examples team, the creation of project, I'll show you here. To create a project, we have two different approaches. One is creation of a completely new project for the team members. Another one is join to the existing project. The project is already created and it's already some people are working on that. If you want to join that project, yes, we can do that. We can use the join to the existing project. The common repository is equal to database connectivity team. At the time of creating a project, we have two different approaches. One is single user repository and multi-user repository. Let me show you here. This is the workspace. Once you open a Tosca Commander, to create a new project, always choose this option, that is a create a new button. Click on here. Once you click on create new option, here you can see the select type of repository. So default here, one type of repository is auto selected, that is a single user repository. So single user repository is only for specifically for one particular person. Only they are only the persons who are going to work with that particular repository. So in real-time point of view, we all are going to work with a multi-user repository. When you are trying to work with a multi-user environment, we just choose the database option, like SQLite, Oracle, or MS SQL Server, or DB2. These databases is acting as a multi-user repository stream. Okay. And enter your project. This is a default directory path where our project starts storing. And enter the name of the project and then click on OK. Your name, please, Motorola. I think you joined with Motorola. Could you please rename yourself? Otherwise, give me your name. I'll just do the rename behalf of you. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So I'm just asking your name, Venkateshwar Reddy. Thank you so much, Venkateshwar. Sure, definitely. I'll explain both Telugu and English language. The point is here, to create a project in Tosca. We always create a project in Tosca in two different approaches. One is we're just setting project for the team members. That is seems like a creation of new project. Another one is join to the existing project. So now I'll show you here how to join to the existing project. So at the time of creating a project, we have two different approaches, single user and multi-user. I already make a note here. to create a project, two things is mandatory. One is single user and multi-user. Single user is nothing but database is not required. Multi-user, yes, we require database. What is mean by multi-user? Entire team is working together. So team లో ఉన్న వాళ్ళందరూ కలిసి వర్క్ చేయడానికి మల్టీ యూజర్ రిపోజిటరీస్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తారు రియల్ టైమ్ లో. ఓకే, సో ద ప్రాజెక్ట్ క్రియేషన్ ఈజ్ వన్ టైమ్ యాక్టివిటీ టీమ్. ప్రాజెక్ట్ ఒక్కసారి క్రియేట్ చేస్తాం. వీఆర్ నో నీడ్ టు క్రియేట్ ద ప్రాజెక్ట్ ఎన్ నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ టైమ్స్. ఇట్స్ ఓన్లీ ఎ సింగిల్ టైమ్ క్రియేషన్. Once we create the project, we'll open the project and we'll start our regular flow. మనం ప్రాజెక్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేసిన తర్వాత we'll open that and we'll work on that accordingly. So today I'm explaining the concept which is related to a creation of project. So Tosca project ఎలా క్రియేట్ చేస్తారు అనేది ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తున్నాం. So go to here. This is the select type of repository team. Even you can also see this is the repository and common repository. In repository, two things is happen. So default here it is selected single user repository. Let me create one single user project. I'm just giving here a name as a single. So workspace templating. Are you remember? Yesterday I'm using some of the standard modules, predefined standard modules, open URL, close browser. Are you remember?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is a subset which is part of the project creation team. At the time of project creation itself, we use this feature. We have to enable this one. So once you enable, like once you click on this checkbox, you're able to see the standard model subset is added here. Then click on OK. So team, see here, the project is created with single user repository. Who is the creator of the project? Only that person able to work in this project. ఎవరైతే ప్రాజెక్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తారో ఓన్లీ దోస్ పీపుల్ ఈజ్ ఏబుల్ టు వర్క్ ఆన్ దట్ ప్రాజెక్ట్. Okay, and what is the difference? See here, till in single user environment, we are not working like more than one people, or two people unable to work on this project because this is a single user. ఒకటి లేదా ఇద్దరు, I mean two persons or three persons ఈ projects లో వర్క్ చేయలేరు because it is a single user. Who is the creator? అంటే ఇది ఎవరైతే క్రియేట్ చేశారో వాళ్ళు మాత్రమే ఇందులో వర్క్ చేయగలరు. That is nothing but a single user repository. And see here, all these features are disabled. What are the icons I highlighted here? Update all, check in all, check out, checkout tree. These all are the multi-user environment activities which we do daily basis. So these features are disabled for the single user repositories. The creation of single user project is not recommended in real time. Okay. So let me close this project.
No, sir, you also told that there is no need of DB connection for single user.
Yes, there is no need of database connection also.
But let's say if we are working on some database desktop-based application that is also have connectivity with the database.
The application is different here, Vipul.
Okay.
Okay, application is completely different. Even for single user also, we can do a DB testing using some of the predefined standard model. Testing we can do. The thing is, at the time of project creation itself, we'll take the database connection. Let me show you the hierarchy. I think I just show you this structure at demo session. So in this demo, you can see the architecture. Are you able to see?
Yes, yes, yes.
In this architecture, within this Tosca commander level, to create any kind of project, we required a database connection. Connection is different, application is different.
Okay.
We are just taking this database connection to provide a multi-user environment to the team members. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So, but single user, there is no database connection. Even I'm not selected anything in a single user repo, right? I just selected single user and I entered the name of the project. That's it, correct?
Correct.
So similar way, if I'm trying to create a project for the multi-user environment, let me create one other open Tosca workspace. I'm just opening another Tosca commander. So the project is loading team. I'll just create a project with a database option. Okay. So see here, this is a create new option. So click on create new option. And here you can see select type of repository. In the select type of repository level, click on this drop down. Select any of these databases. See, some of the databases is added by Tricentis itself. SQLite, Oracle, MS SQL Server, and DB2. So Tim, select the database. I just selected SQLite database. Or you can go with Oracle database. Or you can go with MS SQL Server. Or DB2. Or SQLite. These all are the database connections which we use to create a project. That is a multi-user environment project. Okay. So after selecting a database option, here you can see one option is auto, this checkbox is auto selected, correct? If you are creating a new project team, always deselect this particular checkbox. If you are creating a new project, then deselect it. If you are creating existing project, then click on this one. What is the meaning of creation of new project and creation of existing project? So project ఇప్పుడే sign off అయింది. We are just giving approval to the client. We got the approval from the client and we are creating project for the team. సో మన క్లయింట్స్ నుంచి అప్రూవల్ రాగానే మన టీమ్ మెంబర్స్ కోసం క్రియేట్ చేసే ప్రాజెక్ట్ ని ఫస్ట్ టైం క్రియేట్ చేస్తున్నాం కాబట్టి వీ కెన్ కాల్ ఇట్ యాజ్ ఎ ప్రాజెక్ట్ క్రియేషన్. సో ఆల్రెడీ ద అప్రూవల్ ఇస్ డన్ అండ్ ఈవెన్ సమ్ పీపుల్ ఆర్ వర్కింగ్ ఆన్ దట్. సో ఆల్రెడీ కొంతమంది వర్క్ చేస్తున్నారు. ఇఫ్ యూ జాయిన్ దట్ ప్రాజెక్ట్ రీసెంట్లీ, సో మనం మిడిల్ ఆఫ్ ది ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ కొన్ని ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ లో ట్యాగ్ అవుతూ ఉంటాం కదా, ఎట్ దట్ టైం మీరు ఆ ప్రాజెక్ట్ లోకి జాయిన్ అవ్వాలి అంటే ఈ చెక్ బాక్స్ ని ఎనేబుల్ చేసుకోవాలి బికాస్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఆల్రెడీ ఎగ్జిస్ట్. Clear with the feature team?
What is the difference between project and a repository?
So repository is the platform, it's providing a common team activities. So let us discuss some points here. Do you have any knowledge on Selenium? Any one of you, either Selenium or...
No.
No, no? Okay. What about rest of the people?
I have the working knowledge of robot framework that fetches the Selenium library.
So that is fetches. So what are the activities? So but how you are merging your entire scripts? Are you
Using the
any...
GitHub.
Exactly. So see here, when we are working locally, for example, the person 1 is completed 10 test cases, person 2 is also completed 10 test cases, and person 3 also completed 10 test cases. Let us assume like this. So person 1 is having his laptop and he completed the 10 test case locally. Person 2 also completed locally. Person 3 also completed locally. As a team lead, if I want to view all these 30 test cases together, so how we can access all these 30 test cases together? Let us assume this person is located in Hyderabad. Let us assume this person is working in any other like a Bangalore. So this person is working on Pune. These three persons in a different location. So I just want to see all these 3 people test cases together. So in real time, they are using some repositories to push the code. Yes or no?
Yes, Amish.
Like GitHub,
Git.
Bitbucket. We have a number of repositories too. So once we done the test case development, we are just creating one normal branch. So in anyway GitHub, we have a master branch. Inside this master branch, we'll create one sub branch here, person 1 branch and person 2 branch and person 3 branch. So the person 1, it pushed this 10 test cases to person 1 branch and person 2 branch and person 3 branch. Finally, we'll merge all these test cases together. Yes or no?
Yes.
So to do this activity, additionally here we are learning GitHub and GitLabs. Yes, sir. We have to understand how to create the branch, how to push the code, and we know the GitLab and Git commands as well. Why we are pushing our code to the repository stream? What is the use of it? Can we keep our test cases into our local only, right? Hmm?
But
This will
person one,
integrate to the existing functionality, so that's what we will move to the GitHub.
So per day we can, as a team, per day we can automate around 3 test cases or 4 test cases. But end of the day, we have to merge all the test cases with existing one, correct? So similar way in Tosca point of view team, we don't have a concept like a GitHub, Bitbucket, all these things. Okay. So in Tosca point of view, directly we all are working in a repository level. Okay. What is the meaning of that? Let us assume here one repository is there. At the time of project creation itself, we are just choosing the option as a repo option. So how we are establishing this connection with repository? We are just using a database. The Tricentis is providing a platform as a database to provide a repository access. So once you create a project, so you are working on this project. If any new person is there, let us assume person 1 is working here, person 1 is here, person 2 is, let us assume these 3 people are different areas. What I'll do, I'll just go to my project, I'll give access to these people, that's it. I'll give access to this person, I'll give access to my project, access to this person, I'll give access to this person. So these 3 people are working together in one location, that is a repository. What are the test cases is built by the person 1? Yes, I can able to see the test cases. Person 2, yes, we can able to see that. Person 3, yes, we can able to see that. There is no concept like a merging of code, pushing of code to the repositories. Directly, we all are working in a repository level. Clear, people?
yeah, sir.
So that is
So
the
basically, the check-in and check-out functions which we see in the Tosca. So that means
That
we are
are-
pushing our code.
Yes, that is somewhat of pushing activities to the repository.
Okay.
Okay. So that is the reason Tricentis is added a database connection for that. Here you can see in the architecture level also, in this architecture, even you are able to see very clearly, they are trying to create here one common repository. To create here the common repository in Tosca Commander, they are just using one platform, that is a database connection. Clear?
Yes.
So that is the reason team here the database connection is, we are able to see the DB connections here. SQLite, Oracle, MS SQL Server and DB2. So Oracle and MS SQL Server and DB2. And coming back to here team, SQLite is only for learning purpose. So the meaning of that, when we, for example, if client is approached our company, so he wants to know how Tosca is working for their project. We'll give some POC to them, right? So we can do that kind of POC in SQLite repository. This is not the actual one which we are using in real time. SQLite ni evaru real time lo use cheyaru. This is only to do the POC activities and even to learn something here. టోస్కాలో ఏదైనా నేర్చుకోవాలి, కొత్తగా జాయిన్ అయ్యే వాళ్ళు అనుకున్నప్పుడు దే యూజ్ ద ఎస్క్యులేట్ రిపాజిటరీ ఇన్‌స్టెడ్ ఆఫ్ గోయింగ్ విత్ ఒరాకిల్ ఆర్ ఎంఎస్ సీక్వెల్ సర్వర్ అండ్ డేటాబేస్. క్లియర్?
Yes.
So team, I just mentioned here SQLite is only learning purpose, okay? Even this is one of the interview question. What type of repository you are using in your project? So you can say like we are using either MS SQL Server or Oracle or DB2. So most of the projects they are developing in a MS SQL Server team. Depends upon their domain. If it is Oracle related project, then they are using Oracle database. If it is MS SQL, then DB2. So real time lo most frequent గా use the database options ఏవి to create a project అంటే Oracle and MS SQL Server and DB2. Clear? But even you can see the SQLite is replica of these databases only team. There is no difference between this SQLite repository and MS SQL Server or Oracle or DB2 repositories. I'll show you that as well. So coming back to here, use existing repository team. This is auto-selected. This checkbox is auto-selected. If you're creating a new project for your team members, always deselect this one. You can deselect this one and enter your name of the project and then workspace template. Must you have to enable this workspace template. This workspace template is the part of project creation only. So team, we have to enable this one or we have to check this particular checkbox. Enter your name of the repository. I'm just defining here SQLite multi. So once I enter the name of the project, then click on create. Okay. Once you do a click operation on OK team, create new workspace and new common workspace is creating now. It takes some time to create the project team. Here you can see. So team, once you create a multi-user related projects, it is asking to enter the user ID and password. But if you see for the single user, it's not asking any authorization to log into the project, right? But coming to the multi-user, if you want to log into the project, must you have to enter your login credentials. Then only it allows us to log into the main project. So I just created a new project. So that is the reason the default username is equal to admin here. The password is empty. Click on login. So see here, the project is created. Are you able to see here the check in all, update all, checkout is enabled?
Yes.
Yes.
So if these features is enabled, the meaning of that you are working in a multi-user environment. If all these features are in a disabled, the meaning of that you are working in a single user environment. You can see the team activities are disabled here. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
But are you able to see any differences here? Only this is the difference. Other than that, the number of sections, we are able to see the number of sections, right? And even the multi-user environment, SQLite level also, we are able to see the number of sections also here, correct?
Yes.
The project structure is same team. This is what a creation of new project team. If you want to create a existing project, I just created one project with single user and I created one project with SQLite. So let me create one more project with MS SQL Server. I do have a connection with MS SQL Server team. I'll show you that. So I just want to clarify one thing. There is no difference between SQLite and MS SQL Server. But in real time, we always use MS SQL Server only. Clear with this?
Yes, yes.
Is this for write the queries or repository only?
Only the repository point of view. That's it, not much. Okay. Even we are not writing anything here. And coming back to here, if I select MS SQL Server,
What is the main use of the repository? Sorry,
I already explained, right?
I missed that. So
The use of repository is here. Once we done the script development, we have to push the code into a repositories level, right?
okay, yeah, sure, understood.
Okay. Instead of using GitHub and Bitbuckets, we simply achieve the logic, like in Tosca point of view, there is no concept like a GitHub and Bitbuckets. So Tosca is providing a platform to continue our working culture directly in a MS SQL Server level, like repository level. How we are creating a repository with the help of database. Okay.
Okay.
So coming to your team MS SQL Server, here you can see when you are trying to connect with MS SQL Server or Oracle, this connection string is mandatory. So I'm just selecting DB2 or Oracle or MS SQL Server. Here you can see to create a new project or you are creating an existing project, whatever it is, the connection string is mandatory here. Must we have to enter the server detail and database details, user ID and password. After entering the details, click on test connection. So once we test the connection, if connection is valid, the meaning of that you are having successfully access to the database. Once you are having access, then only you are able to create either new project or existing project. And here one more thing. What is the meaning of this checkbox team?
It means we are using the already created repository.
We're just using already created repository. And even are you able to see workspace template is disabled?
Right. The standard one.
That is already part of project only, correct?
Yes.
Clear with this? So team, let me enter the connection string. Already I have some connection string here. I just captured in this Word document. I'll just show you that where it is. Connection string. This is my connection string. I'm just entering the connection string here. See here, you'll get this connection string from the test lead or test manager, or you can check with the client. If the client is maintaining this entire Tosca software related activities, we can check with the client to give the connection string. So if team lead or test manager is maintaining these things, then we'll ask them to provide the connection string. So here you can see they just integrated. They just added a integrated security is equal to true team. Instead of giving a user ID and password, to hide the user ID and password, they just mentioned as a integrated security is equal to true. So earlier the connection is not established and now I'm doing click operational test connection. Are you able to see the connection is valid message?
Yes.
So I'm just renaming here MS SQL multi-repo. I'm just giving the name of my project. Once you give the name of the project and click on OK. So this is the creation of workspace with existing common team. Creation of workspace with existing common repository. That means already this project is created, even and a couple of people are working on this.
Hi Anusha. For the SQLite, when we were choosing SQLite, At that point of time, if we have to push our code and a small bunch of people, 6 testers are working at that point of time, so in that case, how we like maintain our repo?
So the check-in all is the platform to push the code.
Okay.
So
That will
even for
like
SQLite, even for MS SQL
Mhm.
Server, what are the multi-user environments you are working? Ignore about DB connection, okay? The one and only
Okay.
things to push the code into a repository, that is a check-in all.
So while working on our code, let's say if there are multiple users who are working alongside with me. So without checking our code, is there a possibility of syncing the data with other users as well? Do we have any
That
sync
is not
button?
at all possible, okay?
Okay.
Until unless you have to do the things. Okay.
Okay.
That is not at all possible. So that is comes under as a completely multi-user activities, like team activities. So I'll explain all these activities in going forward, maybe tomorrow. Okay, now.
Okay.
But
And when we click on this checkout button, does the system synchronize before doing the checkout of
no,
that particular
checkout
module?
is seems like to get somewhat of edit access. That's it.
Okay.
See, initially you don't have access to edit any test case. Okay. If you want to develop this particular, if you want to get some edit permission, then do checkout and work on this. That is what checkout. This check-in all seems like a push the code to the repository. That's it. I'll explain all these features in depth in a future. Okay, maybe tomorrow or day after.
So do we have our class tomorrow?
Yes. I'm thinking to take the class tomorrow. I'm not sure. I'll check with the management. Probably they'll update tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm. So team, see here, this is the MS SQL Server repository. Okay. So are you able to see any differences between MS SQL Server and SQLite and single user repository? Seems like interface is same, right? Hmm? So in existing repository level, I am able to see the existing test cases, which is built by my team members. What are the test cases entire team is executed last couple of days? I can able to see all the test cases here itself because it is a multi-user environment. Clear with that, team?
Yes.
Yes.
So what are the database connection? Ignore about the database connection that is required at the time of project creation or existing project creation only. So no need to bother about that. Okay. That is providing some part of platform to work entire team members together in one area. Okay. So the replica, the MS SQL Server and SQLite and single user almost seems like same only team. The interface, everything is same, but single user repository level, we are not able to see these features like, we are able to see, but seems like all are disabled mode. So understand one thing, if all are in disabled, the meaning of that you are working in a single user environment. Okay. And even you are not able to do any checkout because it is a single user, directly you can work here without any restrictions. But when you are working with a multi-user, we don't have any direct authorizations here to work. So when you are trying to work any particular test case, select that respective test case and do the checkout and then start working here. If you are working this particular test case, no one able to access this test case until unless you did the check-in all. మీరు ఇందులో వర్క్ చేస్తున్నారు అంటే ఎవరు యాక్సెస్ చేయలేరు మీరు చెక్ ఇన్ ఆల్ చేసేంత వరకు. Clear?
Yes.
So, Anusha, in the single user, we saw some standard test case. So they will not appear in case of multi-user, the standard test cases.
Yes, it is available. Here you can see the SQLite level already it is available.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Okay.
coming to MS SQL Server, maybe I deleted it. Maybe some reasons I removed it.
Okay.
That is the reason that is not available. But these are the project part of project creation only. You can able to see the somewhat of test cases, standard module, normal test cases. Hmm? So the project creation is clear, team.
Yes, Anusha.
Yes.
So see here, team, how to create a project. To create the project, two things I explained to you now. One is creation of new project and joining to the existing project. At the time of creating a new project or existing project, we are just establishing the DB connection. So if you want to go with the no DB connection, then use the single user repo. But no one is using the single user repo in real time. If you go to the real time, no one is using the single user repository team. So we always go with the multi-user environment only. So these all are the different terminologies which we mentioned at the time of interviews. So if I'm taking interview, I'll ask the shared repository. If another person is taking interview, they'll ask common repository, multi-user repository. These all are the different terminologies team. Don't work confused while listening these terminologies. It seems like which type of repositories or which type of common repositories we are working. So I said here the SQLite is only for learning
And POC.
learning purpose and POC. When we want to do any kind of POC, once we get the requirement, we just do the POC for this particular projects. But coming to real time, so when we actually involved in the project creation, that time we use this any of these, any one of these. Don't tell all these things, any one of these. Okay. Once we create the project team, the project is having a number of sections. I already explained these sections yesterday, right?
Yes.
Let me go to the project. Are you able to see the number of sections with the part of this project, SQLite Multi?
Yes.
Similar way, I'll go for the MS SQL Server. I'm just going to this project. Are you able to see the project Tosca Repo Multi? Similar way, I go for the single user. Even for single user also, you are able to see all these sections, right? So what are the sections we use as part of automation testing team?
Configuration, execution, test case design, test cases, modules.
Modules only. Okay. So I already make a note here, team. As a part of section automation, we use only these 4 sections. Okay. These things is belongs to that test management activities, and data integrity is belongs to a ETL testing or Snowflake or big data testing. Clear with this? And coming back to here, team, this is the workflow. So before going to the workflow, the project creation itself, is it clear for everyone? Can I close all these windows?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
that's great. I'm just closing these windows because I don't want to keep these many windows are open.
Is it possible to convert a single user repository to multi-user repository at a later stage?
Later stage, yes, it is possible. Hmm? Yeah, this is a single Tosca reporting. And see here, are you able to see? This is the workflow. Even yesterday, I explained to you one example, right? The test case is always having a dependency on a module section. Without module, we cannot develop the test case, like automated test case. So Tosca is providing platforms to develop the manual test case, but I'm not discussing about the manual test case now. If you want to go with automated test case, always this test case development is having a dependency on the module. We do a drag and drop activity of module to test case, and then we do the development. So this is the drag and drop activities. Based on the requirement, first we'll create the module. Then we drag and drop to the test case section. We do the test case development here itself only. If test case is working perfectly fine, then we drag and drop to the execution list and we do the final run. This is the usual daily basis workflow which we follow. Coming to the right side one, here you can able to see a couple of things like test case designing, test data services, and Excel workbooks. These all are the platforms to design the test data. Okay, data-driven framework. For data-driven framework point of view, we have these many phases to design the test data. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. So coming to the module section, the module section is having the main intention of module section, it hold the entire technical information of our test cases. So even here you can see the number of standard modules. So number of standard modules which is given by Tricentis company itself. What are the modules is frequently we used for the application categories? Those are things is added here itself only thing. Like these are the database related modules, some HTML, file, XML, JSON, mail, mobile, different sectors, these all SAP, Java, Excel, PDF, host, Vision A, and text stream. Number of predefined standard modules is available. So based on your activity and which application you are working, if you required any of these modules, we can utilize these modules as part of testing. Okay. But at the time of doing a test case development, we have to drag and drop the modules into test case. It's a very easy thing, quite easy. Simply we do a drag and drop activity of test case to module section and we develop the test case here itself. Simply we drag and drop the test case. Once we done the test case development, we drag and drop to the execution list. These three sections most frequently be involved in automation. Coming to this test case designing, it depends upon the project team. So here we just prepare the test data. So for example, if any email ID field is there, username, what are the user IDs I just want to use for the testing point of view? What is the environment? What is the age? What is the customer ID? What is the password? So this is somewhat of test data. We'll prepare this test data and we'll map this entire test data to the test case. Okay.
So can we fetch the test data from Excel to test case design?
Yes, we can do that. If you have already a data in Excel file, then you can directly take the data to test case designing.
Okay.
So clear? Everyone? Any questions? Can I take it as no questions? Yeah. So see here, team, I just want to give some information here. So I think today is the third day of our demo session. So last 2 days onwards, we are just discussing a couple of points which is related to Tosca and what are the major advantages and what are the sections is available. The basic introduction about a Tosca commander, why it is most important, and the development process. Along with that, we just had a discussion of some project creation as well. So the 3 days of free demo class is completed, team. So maybe the tomorrow onwards, it's completely the batch confirmation. Once the batch is confirmed, we'll continue with only those people. So coming to the duration of this training, again, I'm repeating the duration of training is around 45 days. So I think probably I'm going to cover within less day only, like 35 to 45 days only. And coming to here, the daily total, how many hours, like a daily 1 hour team, daily 1 hour or 1.5 hour. I'm not saying I'll go with only a 1 hour. Sometimes it may go with 1.5 hour as well. So daily classes are Monday to Saturday. So mostly I'll take the class Saturday only for the discussion, like doubts discussion. Okay. So when you are having any kind of doubts, so if you want to discuss that, we'll go with the doubts discussion at Saturday session. Like discussion is somewhat you are doing some practice, but you are unable to get what exactly the error is trigger. So we'll just discuss the things while screen sharing team. So daily also we have a WhatsApp channel. So we have WhatsApp group team. So even within the group also we discuss the things. So if unable to understand the things which we are discussing group level, then we discuss into a Saturday session. And coming to the Tosca installation, no need to worry about a Tosca installation. Completely will take care of this Tosca installation, and you will get the installation file as a Tosca 16th version. And this license tool, right, we have to pay, right? The license tool is available for you around 3 to 4 months. 3 to 4 months it is available for you, team. And you can start doing a practical sessions on this particular license tool. Any questions?
Total, how many people would be there in the single batch?
Sorry.
Total, how many people will be there in a single batch?
So team, as I said, I think initial day, I said this is a backup batch. Probably the batch strength is 15 to 20 members.
Okay.
It's not like that you have to discuss your questions with me only. You can check with our team members also. They are also be available to discuss for the practice purpose.
Okay. So now we will be going to shift it to any other batch which is already going on,
Yes,
right?
the timings is 8 to 19. I'll tell you when I'll merge this timings. Probably Monday onwards will continue with 8 to 9 p.m. Clear?
So can we keep on asking the questions the way we are asking in this session?
Exactly. You are very less people. They are more than 10 members, right? They'll ask frequently questions. So what I'll do, first I'll explain the concept. By UOD, I'll ask the questions team. Every batch I'll do this activity. It's not mean that I'm just closing call directly. Once I explain the concept, I'll ask the concept related questions, any questions or any challenges. Definitely we'll discuss all the questions here itself only. So at the time of doing a practice, some of the things we may not understand. That time also we'll discuss within a WhatsApp channel. If you're unable to understand the next day class, before starting my class only, I'll ask the questions. You can share your screen. I'll give you the solution for that. Then I'll continue with my class. Otherwise, we'll check with end of the classes also.
Okay.
Okay. So you people and eight people, both are same page team. There is no much concepts covers to them. So almost similar concepts only. Okay.
So this Tosca license, it will be provided by you people.
Exactly. We'll take care of that. The
Okay.
installation, the license tool activation, everything we'll take care of that.
Okay.
So any questions, Steve?
So what about tomorrow's class? When we'll get information about that?
Probably by tomorrow morning itself, they'll share the information. Tomorrow, do we have class or not? Okay.
Okay.
Mm. So I'll ask them to inform to you a bit early, like morning timings only, morning first half only. Okay.
Yes, okay.
Thank you, team. Thanks for your
Yeah,
time.
Anuja, actually, may I know your full name, if you don't mind?
Anusha only. Do you want my initial as well?
Yes, surname also.
My initial is B.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anush.
Thank you so much, team. Bye bye.